Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, Smith in the Black with the Strat Time Report, and Run Sheep Run FOMO Rally here. So here's what we got going here on the SPY. Let's get that 60. So remember here on the monthly, we had that initial break below last month's lows. But as we looked at all the internals and the sectors, it was apparent that that was just very short-lived because a lot of things were doing nothing. It was just a lot of big boys getting hit a little bit, taking some froth out per the weekend video. And now that we're back up into here, now we're looking for another outside month. That'd be the third one in 4 months, right? That doesn't happen very often, but that's what we're looking at now. So if you look at the weekly outside week, right, then takes them out right here. You see that lower low here? But now that's a 3-2-2 week to the upside. So for the rest of the week, I want to know about the SPY over 466.56 because if that stays up there, we're looking to go back out and take out the highs, right? Because anytime you have an outside bar, you better stay outside of that because then these two can become an outside bar of that. But we'll see how it goes. Once again, coming through this previous range. Now you got an inside 60, so it stalls out a little bit. So what you're going to see here is a lot of things just running with the futures. So it's not necessarily an easy day because you get a lot of these things when they run this fast is you got to find your way in on a 5-minute or 3-minute or 1-minute because it's just gunning into the highs. Now as it stalls out, it would be nice if we could see it break this inside 60 because we want to see some things break away from the futures, right? We want to see some discernible strength and weakness because when you have a day like today, a lot of things are just running with the futures and a lot of things will just look similar, but now stalling out as an inside 60. If we go to the QQQ, and QQQ a little stronger, not inside on the 60, keeps going. And so one of the things we look for here is the 312 reversal day. Outside day, inside day, which means they're willing to pay up and sell down. Then they met in the middle, real move. And so you can see a little bit higher coming in here because still an inside week for the Qs, but now once again coming back through and looking for the outside month again. So right now, still gunning into the highs, and it's a lot of usual suspects, and we'll get to that in a second. So oftentimes, like a day after a day like today is a lot easier because you'll have the strength and weakness where you can see anybody taking out today's lows tomorrow is definitely in trouble, and we'll get to some of those today. If we go to the diamonds, and the diamonds, which have been stronger, let's get that weekly up, have been stronger, gap up and just kind of sit here. So diamonds today not outperforming as much as they have been. Still inside month here, but now once again that 2 down, 2 up week, right? So there's your reversal week back up. And so one of the good things is if you just watch the weeklies here, you had your two up by taking out the highs, 2 down reversal, take it all the way down, and then even if you didn't cover in here, boom, now you can reverse and get long. Short, long. See the difference? All right, but still an inside month over there. If we go to small cappers, small capper still an inside week, right? Opening is that inside month here. No, I took it down and then comes back in. But you can see this here. So those, on these charts are messing up a little bit because the Dow actually did go lower, not an inside month. Yep, Dow did too. So anyway, small cappers here. Now, if you can take that out, once again, that same thing in the diamonds. The 2-2 reversal, 2 up, 2 down, and then boom, here. See if we can reverse that. So starting to come up small cappers, also inside on the 60 with this with the SPY. But right now, Q's going into the highs. Things just driving higher. So it's a lot of usual suspects and a lot of inside days to the upside like the Q's. You go to service now. And service now, still an inside week, but you can see this inside day once again. The outside day, inside day. 3-1-2. Boom. The battle is the outside bar. Then the consolidation is the inside bar. Boom. Real move. Were the guys who were paying up or the guys selling down right? Guys who are paying up. And here she comes back into an old outside day. We'll see if it's going to be strong enough to take the week. Once again, a lot of these things, you just got to be real fast and find something on a shorter term time frame. So on a day like today, it's not always so easy. You know, it's like, oh, it's up, the market's up 9.5 in the SPY. It should be easy. Not necessarily. But you can see right here, inside on the 5. There's your continuation to get you in on something like that, right? So that's what you're going to have to do when things are driving higher like this. We've got NVAX. And NVAX kicker. Bright red day, gap up, test a little bit, and then your continuity entry would be right here, right? As soon as that goes back green on the day, right? Still red on the month, but you're overriding that by being green on the week and coming back into an old outside week. And here's how you get in on that on the 5 minute. See this? They'll bring them in. They always do. Right here. Boom. 2 down, fiver. 2 back up, coming back through previous range. You're inside 5. That's how you get in on this stuff. And I know not everybody's going to be proficient on 5 minute charts. And so if you're not, sitting something like this out is not a big deal. It might seem it, and that's why they call it the FOMO, the fear of missing out. But oftentimes the day after something like this is a lot easier. If we go to drip stack, TRUP. And this thing having a heck of a day here. And let's see how that 15's looking here. Ooh, see, you got it in this. Looks like 30. Here, the inside 30, right? So some people would never touch something that's up this much. You just got to wait for it to go inside. And let me see this. It's actually 60. Sideways 60. So here, what I mean by that is these 2 bars are inside of that, but it's not going to show up as an inside 60 unless you have a chart package that's updating at the top of the hour. So, but we know that this is an inside 60 because this is 2 30-minute bars inside of that. Then you can use this 30 as the trigger. Off she goes. Exhaustion risk by going into the highs. You're also going to see this on the weekly. And you can take this when it takes this too. 2 down, 2 up week. Boom. Back through the previous range, takes them all out. Also, an inside day, back through previous range. You call that pivot machine gun, take them all out. TRUP having a great day. And then, of course, usual suspects. Apple gunning into the highs again. And if you go down to 30, what do you got? How about a 60? Anything on the 60? Nope, too fast. 15er, here. Taking out the highs, stopping out the type stops, 2 up, 2 down, boom, you're in right here. That gets you in right there if you're trying to weasel your way into something like an Apple. If we go to NVIDIA, and NVIDIA, stop them out, hammer time, right? Stop all these guys out yesterday, bring it down, and then here's your 2 down, 2 up reversal, and you get yourself 15er, so low of this. This is actually a 2 down by a few cents, right? So this, 2 up, 2 down, boom. These 2 become an outside bar of that. You're in. If you go to 30, here's your inside 30 continuation, right? Inside 30, 2, 1, 2, and you're in. And NVIDIA is still an inside month, like a lot of semis, and that's what another clue that we had that we weren't really going to fall apart because it's going to be a long way down for a lot of these semis to not be inside month. So 2-2 reversal on NVIDIA. Your continuity entry is right here. You see the wick down? As soon as that goes back green, you're in. Off she goes. All right. And if we go to LRCX, and LRCX, inside on the 30 right now. Once again, stop them out yesterday with the hammer. Off she goes. Now looking for an outside week. We're hoping for that shooter week, but even if we got it, it was a long way down here. Still good on a monthly basis from last month's reversal here. LRCX, you can watch that with the semis, of course, and there's going to be like AVGO. And AVGO inside day triggers the inside week to the upside, you see? And then you get this drifting stuff like this where you got to find your way in. So when you see something like this just drifting off, you want to try and get it off of something down lower in here on a lower time frame. How's the fiber looking? There you go, right here. 2-1-2 reversal off the 5 down, 2-1-2 reversal back up. You're in. This is how you do that. You can see that it's coming off the lower end of this stuff, so you're not paying up into the highs. If you go to MU, and MU slight lower low yesterday. That's a 2-2 reversal coming back through a previous range, and you're going to see this. The higher highs and the lower lows. There's your broadening formation now coming back through it, right? So MU, how's your 15er looking? A little quick on the 15er here too. Go down to the 5er. We got any good 5ers in here? Here we go. Right here. 2 up, 2 down, boom. Right back in, right? You had your corrective activity in here. That's how you get in on something like that. If you go to AMBA, and AMBA, still an inside week. Is that right? Yep. Still an inside week, but you got 2 months, a little bit of exhaustion risk, but you wait. After this big gap up, everything was good. They bring them in. Boom, 2-2 reversal right here. 2 down, 2 up. Little tough on that continuity entry, but once again, you wait for that 5-minute to do this. Stop them out. 2 down, inside, back up, you're in. If we go to GREE, and GREE coming in now, but this thing has some nice action in it. This thing really moves around a lot. And you see that 2 down by taking out the previous low. Now, stalling out here, these 2 became an outside bar of that, and so we'll see if that comes in, sets up again for us. Right now, bringing it in, we'll see if that sets up. If you go to Fate, and Fate, once again, the lower low, 2 down, 2 up reversal here. These become an outside bar of those. Question, to be strong enough for all this to give you the outside week. Once again, you have that drifting pattern up into here. You got to go down to a shorter time frame to try and get in. Another bottom picker special, crispy, CRSP. And CRSP, this thing's been getting rocked to the downside. But then you get that slight lower low, hammer. 2-2 on a Tuesday. Boom, back she goes. These 2 become an outside bar of that. So we'll see if it's strong enough to come up on any more stuff like that. Out of the ashes she comes, PayPal. And PayPal, oh how they've been waiting for this one. Now you have your reversal on the week. 2 down, 2 up. Here, above 190.35, right? Trying to get out of all this stuff. Now just kind of stuck up in here. Let's see how we go. Not quite an inside 60. Right here, the lower low on the 15 that stops all these guys out, right? 2 down, 2 up, you're in, and off she goes. And now it's green on the month. Where everybody's trying to bottom pick it in here, now you get it. If we go to Cat Tractor, Dow Jones, Cat Tractor, stalling out a little bit, but you do have your hammer counter shooter week. 2 down, 2 up reversal. So we'll see what comes of that. Like I said, the Dow a little more sluggish than the Qs and stuff today. Inside on the 60 right now, we'll see what comes of that. If you go to Tesla, and Tesla, inside on the 60 right now, just watching this here. Remember, we stop them out, 2 down, 2 up. Doji on the day right now, so not really running, but going forward, we're going to see if this now stops him out on the weekly and comes back up for potential outside week. Still right on the month, so if it rolls back down through this stuff, we'll still be watching that monthly low. Right now it just kind of stalls out. If we go to the downside, we got Charter, CHTR. Charter. And this is one of the things you want to look for, especially if we can get this market to weaken at all. Anybody taking out yesterday's lows, these guys got problems. If you're long anything that's taking out yesterday's lows, you got this monster rally going on in the SPY, and you're down. They're going down. So you can see this 2 up, 2 down, looking for an outside weak Charter. Now inside on the 60. Comcast also having some problems here, and we're on this one pretty fast. Now it's an outside week. Firms up as an inside 60. Does its job. The 2 up, 2 down. These 2 became an outside bar of all this. You see? That's your outside week. And below last month's low, so we'll see if that rolls back down. We go to Clorox. One of the few, the proud, the inside day and downers. Here, inside day to the downside. right? These guys got problems. You see how what this market's doing and your stock's going down? These are the kind of guys we go after. If you go to Lilly, I believe still an inside day, getting closer. And Lilly, we're watching this because of this. The inside month, the poke up, the Rev Strat month, below 246.48. Just a couple more GitLab. GitLab, inside day to the downside. Boom. Right? And this is how you trade against people who are in trouble. Right? Because if you're long, you got what you wanted. Market's rallying big time, and your stock's going down. We're going to bring the heat on you. AV for the last one. And AV just gets rocked. Now we'll see inside 60. We're going to see if that rolls back down. So on a day like today, don't get the FOMO. But if you're going to get in on some of these runners, you want to be able to know how to do that on a shorter term basis on the 5 minute. If not, oftentimes the day after a day like today is a lot easier because a lot of stocks get caught up in the rally in the futures. Once the futures flatten out and mellow out, then you can see more discernible strength and weakness in the sectors. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Smith and Black, Strat Time Report.